Hello, welcome to this video again. In this video, we move on with step number 4. In the last video, we ended with step number 3, and this one we move to step number 4. So the company needs information about the number of staff working at each site. Create a report to display the number of staff employed in each job at each site. So the head and footer must have a black background 2 centimeters in height. Then text displayed in a white sans serif font. Okay, so the report must have the title, staff numbers at each factory, and set the font size for this title to 24 points and all other text in the head and footer to 16 points. The columns must be labeled with the job description for each job. The total number of staff must be shown in the report header with the label total company staff, and also insert your name, center number, and country number in the footer. Ensure that the formatting of the report is of a professional quality, and the layout of the report should look like this. Okay, so this is the layout of the report: the black background, white text. We should have some data in columns, some data in rows and stuff like that, and values in the middle. So you guys, you've learned about your Crosstab queries. And you can use your Crosstab queries to create reports, which summarizes some information that you have in your thing. Remember, there are different types of queries. I don't have to go into this anyway. I just have to solve this paper. But I'm just reminding you that you've learned that there are different types of queries. You have simple queries, complex queries, nested queries. You've got also summative queries. This is where you're going to find things like pivot tables, and also you're going to find things like the Crosstab queries. Okay, so basically what we need to do is to create a Crosstab query, and we'll have a structure like this. We'll have in this the row headings, rather the row headings will be the site. Okay, and you have the column headings will be the job descriptions, as well as the values here. I don't know what the value should be. The total number of staff might be shown in the report header with the create a report with the number of staff employed in each job at each site. Okay, so it will be each number of staff employed. Okay, number of staff employed. So put it in green. In each job. Each job, put it in red. And each site, so the intersection for a job and a site, that's what will have the number of jobs. So these 3 things are important. So we have got each site. Let me just do this. I like to do this, it's important. Okay, so we have each site is this one. Okay, then we have each job, which is the job description there, and each staff, number of staff, which are the values inside there. This is what actually we are doing. Okay. So I'll cancel this and I'll put it just like that. So let's see. The first thing that we need to do is to create a query of the piece of information that we need. So we need site, we need job description, and we need a total number of values for the total number of staff for each of the sites corresponding to the job description given. Okay. So that's also important. So we'll go to access. I'll close up all these other tables. We don't need them now. And we're going to define a query. Remember, what we're doing is to create a query, and then we use that query to create a Crosstab query. So it's a query. We refine it. You guys, you talked about nested queries, I think, in class, where you said nested queries. You have a query, and then you're going to build another query on top of that that query, and so you have sort of nested queries. So in this case, we have a query, and in this query, it will just be a simple query. We just need to have some pieces of information like the site, and we'll need also things like let's see. We'll need job description. So we'll need the job description so that you can get the job name. And we'll also need the site info. Where do we need the site info? No. We need, let's see. I need something that we can use to count the number of staff that are there. So what is, okay, I'll use something that is unique, like their payroll number. We can use, of course, because if we use anything else other than the payroll number, there could be some duplicates and we can miscalculate. So The pair number is unique and it can give us a good picture. So I'll use the pair number and we'll go to next. And then here the query. So this is what query? Okay, let me just put query for Crosstab. Okay, query for Crosstab, so that I know that this query will be for Crosstab. Anyway, there won't be even any further query after this. So just finish, and this is the information that we have. I'll close this query. Then I'll create another query, but this time it's a Crosstab query, and it is going to be built based on another query. Okay, so this is, I'll say use query for Crosstab, and next. And this is where we're going to define now what is supposed to be the row heading, what is supposed to be the column heading, and what value is going to be inside here. So which field's value do you want as row heading? So I want the site to be the row heading. So the site will be here, site 1, site 2, site 3, site 4. Okay, that's what we have in the question here. So where am I? Just do this. That's what we have here. Let me just minimize this. Okay, so remember, we have the site names here, so we'll need to have the site names also here. So these are the site names here. We'll need to have the site names here. These are the row headings, rather the column headings. We'll need to have the column headings here. And then these are the values inside. Okay, these are the values inside, and also we'll do the total of the values of the number of staff at each site for a given particular job. Okay, so that's what we'll do. Later on, yeah, so we'll do that. So now that you've defined this, go to next and define now which fields values do you want to have as column headings. So I want the job description as column headings. So the job description will be there. And then the next one is how do you want to summarize this data? We want to summarize this data in the sense that we want to count the number of staff that will be found at a particular site for a particular job. So you make sure that you have this part checked. Okay, yes, include raw sums, but the functions that you're going to have is you need to be to select the function that you have. So we are counting the number of staff, so you need to have count there and say next. And then what do you want the name for your query? This is Crosstab Query. Okay, that's fine. I'll not change anything. Finish it, and notice we have data that looks somewhat very good. Okay, so you have already data that looks good. I'll close this one as well. Then I'm going to build a report now based on the Crosstab query that I have. So I'll say report wizard. I'm going to build the reports based on the Crosstab query. Okay, so get the Crosstab query, and then so just put them, all of them in there. Go to next, go to next, go to next, and then just to have a clear view of the stuff, because if you notice, this is going across like that. It will be too small, the values, if I put it in portrait orientation. So I'll put it in landscape orientation so that it fits a bit well. Adjust field width so that it fields fit on a single page. That's fine. Go to next, and then the report title. Here we can get the report title. The report must have a title, staff numbers at each factory. So copy that and go here and paste it right there. And then go ahead and preview it. Staff numbers at each factory is invalid name. It's because there's a space, I think, at the beginning of the word. Okay, that's fine. Finish. Okay, that should be fine. And notice that we have a report there, but there is some kind of the values, the files are rearranged in a way, and it doesn't look good. Okay, so we'll need to go into our design view, and okay, so notice that the site is out of place. The site is actually the site name is actually existing here. Okay, and the values for that site are actually here. So when you run this query, or this report rather, the values will be pushed a little bit down. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just copy this and put it in the same line as this one, and then close up this part. I don't need this part, site header. I don't need the site header. So I'll do just copy this or cut it, can I cut it? Cut it and paste it in the site details. So just put it there and have it like that. Then let's view it, report view, and that looks good. Okay, that looks good. It means now I can have the sites like that. Okay, so the other thing that, guys, is important, the black shade here, the gray shade rather here, is because of the site header. So close up the site header, we don't need it. Try to view it again and notice that now you have the values like that. Maybe what I can do, just to create a little bit some space between the one value and the other, I'll just put a small black line like that. Well, no, that's not good. I'm just going to close it up so that it's just as it is. Okay, so close it up like that. Then what I'm going to do, I don't need the page header. So I'm going to close it up as well. I need the report footer instead. So the other thing that I would need to do is to perform some formatting. Let me see. I will need to have the totals for the sites. Okay. Notice that you have the report view. If you go to report view, I need to find the total for these. Okay. So in the question, we're told that we should display the total number of staff can be shown on the report header and labeled total number of staff. So the total number of staff, guys, is actually the count of all the staff that are in the report, so to say. For example, this 35 is the total of all the staff that are in Ashford. And this 30 is the total for all the staff that are in Bolton. This is for all the staff that are in Cardiff. This is for all the staff that are in Dundee. But I'll need to find the total for all the staff in all the sites. And this is why I need to sum all these numbers here. And then I'll put this, where is this supposed to be placed? So the total number of staff might be shown in the report header with the label total number of staff or total company staff. So I'll need to find the sum of all the employees there. So go back to design view. And in the header, I'm going to insert a function to calculate the total number of staff. So I'll just put it right there, and I'll say the total number of staff will be equal to sum, and sum like that. And then inside the sum, I'll put 2 square brackets to access a field, and the field I want is to total these. So just copy these that are inside here, copy, control, okay. Just hold shift and end, copy it and paste it inside there. And that's it. Okay, so that's the sum of that. So you can view it and notice it shows you that there are 127 employees. So if you calculate the total of these employees here, 5 plus 0 plus 6 plus 6, that's 17. And that's 6, 8, that's 11. And plus 1, that's 12. So that gives you 127. Okay, so so that's that. But I've seen also that we need to put something else again. We need to put the label. So I don't know what label was there. The label is supposed to be total company staff. So I'll copy this same label. Okay. Let me just copy it from here. I'll type the last F there and paste it inside here and put one more F. Okay. So then preview it and notice it's that. Okay. So I don't need the background here. We'll do the formatting later on, but I have this. Okay. So let me just move it a little bit here. Okay, so now we will need to do insert your name, center number, and candidate number. Okay, so center number and candidate number at the report footer. So just go ahead and insert in the report footer your details. So I'll say Chikasa Evans ZM 556001. Okay, so that's important. So view it again, and the details are in the footer. Next, we'll need to ensure that the formatting of the report is of a professional quality. So the layout of the report should look like this. So we need to format the report so that it looks like this. Notice that the job description, the text is wrapped. So we can wrap the text for ours as well. So go here, design view, and I'm going just to enlarge this a little bit so I can wrap the text nicely, and select the entire text here and wrap it. So drag it down like that to increase the size, and it will be wrapped. So what I want to do now is to align it, to make it center aligned. So it should look like that. Notice it is center aligned. So I'll go to home and align it center, and make sure that all the words are fully visible. Okay, so I'll remove this one because warehouse is cut on this one. So I'll remove it and push these, get these and push them a little bit to the left, and then have this enlarged to the right a bit. Okay, and to the left, warehouse operative, that's fine. So then I'll move this just directly under here. So then what I'll do is view it in report view, and that looks bit professional. I just need to center the values, the text, the numbers, so that each one is directly corresponding to its column. So just select these, and then you can center them. No, not these. You center actually text align. Text align should be center. Is it text align or value align? Let's find out. When you run it, that's the one. Yeah, it is center. I almost getting confused. Okay, so that's the one. Okay, so next thing that we need to do is to format it so that it looks like that one. So I'll need to put a black background here. So we'll put back color. It's supposed to be, go to home. Background is supposed to be black. Okay, and the text is supposed to be white. Text is supposed to be white for all the values. So white text. Okay, and I'll need to have these two as 16 points. 16, that's what the question said, and then they will need to be sans serif. So Times New Roman. Okay, so then this one is supposed to be 24, and we'll need to increase its size. Okay, like that. Then we need to make the background here as well black. Okay, like that. And let me just increase this one this side. Okay, maybe we push this one this side. Let's preview it first of all. So yeah, it looks good, but we don't need to have the white background for the text. So we need to have this as transparent. We need to have it as transparent. I don't know if I set it to black. Let me see. The text is supposed to be white, not background white. So it's a text which is supposed to be white. So go to home. The background is supposed to be black, but the text is supposed to be white. Okay. Why am I selecting black again? Okay, so go ahead and preview it, and that looks somewhat good. Then we need to remove the border here and at least push the stuff, total company stuff to the right so that we have thin. Okay, so I'll resize this one there and push size this one as well, and then push it from here, push it just there like that, and then enlarge it a little bit so it's fully visible, and enlarge this one a little bit. Okay. Okay, so that is fine. I'll just need to align this also a little bit in that, and do just that. Okay, so the next thing that we're supposed to perform is actually giving these 2 centimeters. Okay, so background, black background, 2 centimeters height. So let's go and set the centimeters. So click on it. When you click on it, go on height. Mine is in inches, but I'll just type 2 centimeters. Okay, and enter, and then click there again for this one and type 2 centimeters there. So that's fine. So this is 2 centimeters, and then you can just go ahead and align it center so that it is in the middle of the header, the report header, footer rather. And this one also, just highlight it and push it down. Okay, that looks good. Report view, and that looks somewhat good. I just need to remove the border, like I said. So go to design view, and I'll align this left so that the text is actually closer to the word. So align left, but for the border, border style, I'll say make it transparent, and it should be like that. So go to view, report view, and that looks a bit good. Yeah, that looks good. So now what I need to do, I've just remembered, I don't need to have total number of employees, the total number of payroll here shown. So we need to remove this one. We're just using it for calculations. So select it and delete it. And now I'm going to highlight these, okay, and then just move them to the left. Okay, so that's fine. Then go ahead and view it one more time, and that looks good now. Okay, so that looks good. I think let's see what else we have remaining. Export this as a PDF file named staff report. Okay, so I think we are done with this part. Unless I've skipped any part. Set the font size to 24 points, 16 points. Okay, I read this already, and we've done this, done that. Okay, that's fine. So the next thing that you need to do now is to go to File and Design View. Not Design View. Go to right-click on the report and export it as PDF. And you're going to export it in the worked files. Staff at its factory in PDF. Okay. Publish. That's fine. It's a PDF file. That's fine. Yeah. So basically, that's on this part. And yeah, the next part we just need to do now is step number 5, and this has to do with video editing. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you very shortly in the next video where we do video editing.